Hey everybody, this is a super quick tutorial. The question was asked in the forums. Somebody was using physics on the hair, or perhaps it was on the dress, and they wanted to know if you could start the render at 0 frames. I guess because they had already created some animations or whatnot, and they didn't want to have to change all that. So let's take a look real quick. This character has a dress and some hair, and both of those are using physics. And they settle in those first few seconds. So let's say we want 2 seconds of frames where the physics will settle before we actually do the animation. Let's pretend that we have an animation. We'll add in some animation for this gal. Let me find a good one. I think there's something under motions, female, human male. Human female. There we go. Let's find a nice one. There we go. Air dance. Air dance is always a fun little animation. Okay. So, as you can see, her dress settles and her hair settles. And if we wanted to get all that settling out of the way, here's how I would do it. There's 2 steps. First, I would insert some frames at the very beginning of the project. And so I go down into my timeline and we find our insert frame. We're going to do it at, make sure that you're at frame 0. And let's say I add 200 frames. Okay, and boom, as you can see on my timeline, I now have blank frames, 200 blank frames, and during that time everything will settle, her dress, her hair, whatever, and then she starts doing her animation. Now this is great. We'll go to the end of my animation, which is here at 780, and we're going to render this out. But I don't want to render out those first 200 frames. Well, if we go to my render options here, we go to the bottom, you have discard simulating frames, and I'm going to change that to 200, and I'm going to export somewhere. Do it shorts here. We'll just call it test. Export it, and let's see. It's going to take a few minutes, but you can see even here it's 279 frames. That's probably the total. I would bet here is 479. It omits the first 200, and we'll take a look once it's done exporting. Yes. Right at the beginning, she starts animating. So you can see it's discarded those simulating frames. This is a really good option to use when you need to use visual effects like what am I thinking of? Sorry, I'm having a brain seizure right now. Particles. There you go. So if you want particles, you set your particles in here, and you want them to get going to simulate before you start your render. This is another way to do it. You just add some frames at the beginning, enough for your particles to render, your physics to settle, and then you cut them out at the end. Okay? Hope that's helpful. Take care.